Thanks a million, Victoria, for having us here today in your gorgeous house. I am blown away. It's absolutely stunning.
Thank you, Caroline.
I suppose you can't believe you're sitting here. You just moved in, like, when was it?
We're about 6-7 months we moved in, so it's a work in progress, but...
No, it's not like you keep saying to me, oh, it's not finished, but to me, it's like sitting in a fully finished home. It's absolutely gorgeous. So kicking off, I guess the first question that people say is, how is this different to oil heating or gas heating that I've traditionally had in my other home? So you obviously lived somewhere first. What is the difference?
I suppose there's a few differences because in our old house, it was all radiators. So I don't have radiators on any walls in this house, which is one huge thing. So it's all underfloor. But with our oil heating, it was like, well, the house was either really cold because there was no heating on, or else you put the heating on and then, you wait for it to warm up and you have a nice warm house, but when it's off again, well, it's cold again. Whereas with this house, we don't have that. There's never any fluctuation in the temperatures because it's all done with your thermostat and it's keeping your room at a certain temperature. And often, because our house is so well insulated, our heating is a lot from even just the sunlight. It keeps some rooms warmer than others. But the great thing is the thermostat will only put my heating on in that room if it needs it on.
So air source heat pump, tell us, what did that mean to you at the start?
Yeah, well, I just knew that it was going to be like an economical way to heat your house. It was going to be not using the old kind of oil, those sorts of things. But I had no idea what it was going to be like. All I knew that I would have underfloor heating, and we went for that downstairs and upstairs. And I just had no idea that I was going to have these stats that I was going to have to do something with. That I hadn't a clue what it was going to look like. But it couldn't have been more straightforward actually, because once you get it in and it gets set up and it gets turned on, you literally don't have to look about it. You don't need to go to your clock and say, oh, I need to put it on now, because you get it set up and it's set up for your year. And whenever you get it set up, well, what we did was we had 2 different settings. So we can just flick between one and the other depending on the time of the year. So I don't have to think about, is the heating going to be on in the morning, because I know that whatever temperature we want our rooms at, it's going to be at. Yeah.
So there is different people with different views and opinions. What did you go through and why did you eventually decide then to go for that one?
Yeah, well, it's not something I initially thought of when I was thinking about designing our home. It was like, where do I want my kitchen? Where do I want all these things? But I knew that I wanted underfloor heating because it done away with the whole radiators, and I liked the idea of underfloor, but I know you can get underfloor with oil as well. So we had just kind of thought about then, whenever we were in the process of planning our house, that we were going to go kind of as eco as we could. So triple glazing, a lot of insulation and all these things. And that kind of brought us to the place of, should we do air source heat pump, because it kind of tied in well with the other things we were doing.
So basically what you're saying is you were cynical at the start, but you're so happy now.
Most definitely.
Okay.
And I love my heat in a house, and I was thinking, well, for me to get the house the temperature I wanted all the time, is it going to be astronomical? And it's not. We couldn't be more happy with our energy bills. We have one bill for our house that does all our heating and all our electric, and we are pleasantly surprised by it. So I wouldn't let the money thing put me off. But I wish someone had told me whenever I was thinking about the air source heat pump that it wasn't going to be crazy, because as it knowledge everything. So when whenever you can hear what somebody's bill has been, it put me at ease. Knowing when my first bill came in and my second bill came in, that I was like, okay, this is actually good. My house is such a great temperature. I love it all the time, and this is what my bill is, and I'm happy with it.
So at what point, Victoria, did you decide, yes, we're going to go for this?
So after we had our foundations in, then we were going about looking mortgages and things like that, and we got this report done to say, hey, this would make your house very efficient. And so we kind of got this list that would say, put in triple glaze and put this in, put that in, and air source heat pump was on that list. So we did a little bit of research ourselves, and we went for the air source heat pump at that point. And still not knowing what the bills would be throughout the whole thing, and still not knowing what it looked like and things like that. But it went in, and even how fast the house got heated up with when it was first put in, it just pleasantly surprised us from day one.
Right, let's talk about it. Instant hot water. How does that feel?
It's a dream.
Okay, because it is something
Yeah.
that, you know, I suppose in the traditional homes you always have to go, turn the immersion on, you used all the water. Like, because I come from a big
Yep.
family, that's what
6 months ago, that was our house, Caroline.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
tell us about instant hot water. What does that mean for you as a family?
Well, I have a son who loves daily baths.
Okay.
It would take 4 if I allowed him. And obviously then I have another boy, they're out in the farm every day and we shower every day. So just not having to think about is there hot water is just amazing.
So basically, if people are trying to understand this concept, your whole house is run on electric.
Everything, yeah.
So the electric goes off, obviously that's a handling, as it is in everybody's house. But
Yeah.
what does that mean for the heating? Like, what does that mean?
It just means it's going to be off for that period of time
Yes.
that the electric's off. It's happened a couple of weeks ago. We got a letter through to say it's going to be off on this day for tree cutting. It was off all day, but whenever it's turned back on again, the memory's there on our little stats, so it just goes back to where it was before. So just like in any house, you would just do without your heating for a day.
Yes, happy days. Okay, that's good to know that it doesn't knock everything off, that you
No.
have to get it reset.
No.
It's all set up.
Yep.
Perfect. What type of maintenance is involved in a air source heat pump, like servicing and that? Do you know anything about that? Or
So we have like a little plant room. It's a small cupboard with everything that we have in it, and that's where the guy who came to commission our heat pump went to and got everything set up. And he that day got the form signed for the warranty to start. So we got a warranty with our Grant air source heat pump. And then what we have to do is bring someone back that is expertised in it, and he will yearly give it a service, and that keeps up our warranty. So we don't touch it,
Okay.
and we just let the experts keep it, because there's no point in us getting involved when we don't have a clue really, you know, what these pipes and different things are for.
I think that's the key thing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. You need experts to set it up, and
Yep.
they'll be able to keep it right for you, because we don't know how
Yes.
to do that. Okay, perfect.